This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard. Watching the Grunion Pro Magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 184. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we have Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing there, Kevin?
Doing good.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you?
Same shit, different day.
Same day, different shit.
Yes.
What movie do we have you watch this week?
Mission to Mars.
Mission to Mars. Picked this in honor of The Martian coming out this week. This is directed by Brian De Palma. Little De Palma action. I have a synopsis here. When the first manned mission to Mars meets with a catastrophic and mysterious disaster after reporting a unidentified structure. Come on, a unidentified structure is what it says.
Seems legit.
We can't use proper grammar in the synopsis. Come on, guys. A rescue mission is launched to investigate the tragedy and bring back any survivors. This stars whole bunch of people in this one. Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins, Don Cheadle, Jerry O'Connell. Am I missing anybody? Connie Nielsen. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about Mission Mars?
In the future, in 2020, this team goes to investigate the possibility of water being on Mars. And when they get close, they land. There's 4 of them. And they hear strange noises. And they think it's just like radio interference. And all of a sudden, the side of the mountain sort of opens up. And there's a big vortex of sand. And the sand eats 3 of them alive.
What?
Actually, it eats them and kills them. And then the 4th guy, Don Cheadle, he doesn't die, but later on you find out that after several weeks, he went back out to look for bodies, but he could only find 1. So that means the sand ate the other 2.
Oh, man.
And he also, Don Cheadle somehow survives on Mars with no food, no water, no communication. Really nothing at all. And he survives for months. And his astronaut buddies form a rescue team. And they come to get him. And while they're going there, they decide to land themselves on Mars, like land their bodies on Mars.
What?
Land their bodies on Mars.
What, they're like skydiving into Mars?
That their end goes through a mini meteor attack, and the meteors break the hull open and cause explosions. So they leave the shuttle behind. And while they're going to Mars, somehow they use the rockets in their spacesuits. And they're all tethered together. And Tim Robbins kind of gets separated. And they go to rescue him. And they realize they don't have enough rocket fuel to get to him. And so he just pulls off his helmet, and the pressure destroys him.
Pressure destroys him.
The Tim Robbins. So the other ones land, and they finally find Tim Robbins.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah. I did it in my head several times during the movie. Anyway, they find him, and at first he's all disheveled and he needed a haircut and
Okay, wait a minute. Let me
food and water.
pause you there. If
And
hold on, if he's been there for so long that he has long scraggly hair and a beard, but he had no water, he didn't have any water.
I don't know how any of it worked. This is where it all gets confused.
I mean, how would he survive?
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way if you have long scraggly
That's
hair.
exactly what I asked myself.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
How he creates a greenhouse and he grows the necessary food.
Okay.
But I'm still not sure at all where the water comes from. So they finally find him, and he's a little confused at first, and for whatever reason tries to kill them. He holds a knife up and they're coming to get him. He's being attacked.
You guys has that space madness.
Yes. And then after 5 minutes, he comes to his senses. And he gets a haircut to shave.
Major priority there.
He's good to go. They start investigating where this vortex came from. And they realize that it's a big head of sorts. Like a big sort of stone head.
Cool.
And they figure out the noises create a no helix.
Oh shit.
And the last two chromosomes are missing. And they figure out that they have to add this to, because it's like sort of a puzzle.
Sounds like
And,
That sounds like a puzzle. But they get that puzzle figured out, huh?
This whole movie is a fucking puzzle. Then they go into investigating inside this stone thing, and Mr. Rebecca remains outside, and he is told that he has to take off at a certain time, whether they're back or not. And eventually, they come in contact with an alien.
What?
Inside. And it shows them that Mars was destroyed. And that had water on it, but it was destroyed by a big meteor.
Was the alien disheveled and had a long beard and hair, and the first thing they did was give it a shave and a haircut?
It looked really weird though.
That would have been a fun
It didn't
montage.
look like it normal.
shaving the alien.
Martian makeover.
It kind of looked like
Paul?
Yeah.
Paul.
It looked like him, but it was way more animated
Really?
and a lot more tall. Skinnier.
A lot more tall. So what, he's just been chilling inside this head for God knows how long.
Just sitting there waiting.
Yes, because apparently...
Is he just like on a folding chair? With his legs crossed? Just like reading a book? Reading a Martian book.
Apparently, when Mars was hit by a meteor, all the Martians went to a silver galaxy.
Nice.
And except for one, they were made and shot other descendants to Earth in hopes that one day they would come back and solve this puzzle.
Oh, snap.
So there's aliens like Paul on Earth.
Wait, did they...
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be.
So wait, did they like create the humans? Or like help create the
That's
humans?
what I think.
So they actually created human beings?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
So
Okay.
So this seems like a lot of work for nothing. So you send one Martian down to Earth to help create humans that, in the hopes that at some point in time they'll be smart enough to get to Mars, figure out this puzzle, get inside of this stone head where this one guy's sitting, chilling, waiting, just to be like, oh yeah, Mars was destroyed and we went to a super galaxy. Like, what the fuck's the point of that?
It seems if they're smart enough to create the human civilization, then they shouldn't be smart enough to figure out, what's going on with that helix or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and they're all on this. The rest of them went to the super galaxy and been living large for God knows how long.
And Gary Schneitz goes to the super galaxy.
So he goes to check them out.
The other three go back to Earth.
Why wouldn't... Okay.
Why didn't they just go to Earth to begin with?
Or the aliens, why didn't they just all go to the super galaxy and say, oh, shit happens?
I like how there's one Martian that's like, I'm gonna go to this other planet. All you guys are going to the super galaxy. I'm gonna stay behind. I'm gonna go to this other planet right over here, and I'm gonna start a new civilization. And then hopefully hundreds of years later, they can make it to Mars and find out what happened. Even though I already know what happened.
Yeah, and who cares? Why do they even care?
Exactly.
They're in the super galaxy now. They're in the super galaxy.
Somehow they're trying to let everyone know what happened to Mars.
Yeah, but they created those people. Like those people would have never existed, so there's no need for them to know what happened to Mars.
They're just looking for a pat on the back, I guess. They're just
This
is like the most elaborate humble brag, maybe?
I think so. I think that's what
they
this
want
is.
to avoid it happening again. It's
Wow.
But still, they want to avoid having it happen again where? On Earth, the civilization that they created?
That's why I don't
They fucking learn anything. Except for everyone else.
My question is, why didn't they build a BS gun and shoot the fucking meteor before this planet?
Again, yeah, I think if they're smart enough to create... Now, I'm wondering if they created all life on Earth or if they just created humans, and where does evolution fit into that? There's a lot of questions.
Were humans already around and they just brought their intelligence down?
Yeah. Did they just kind of nudge us in the right direction, or...
Like there's just one Martian walking around like, psst, hey. You should go check out Mars someday. Just a heads up.
Let me just show you something real quick here. Let me just show you something. It sounds ridiculous. What did you think of this thing?
I hated it. It was ridiculous.
Sounds like an exhausted
It was
answer.
2 hours long.
Oh.
And for the first half hour, I got it done. Then it just lost me. And then when I saw the alien, that pissed me off. And I wanted to stop on.
Well, up until the alien part, this sounds almost exactly like The Martian, where there's one person stranded on Mars and they send a rescue team to pick him up. That's the exact plot of The Martian. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this was definitely a timely pick, especially earlier today. They announced that they found water on Mars, so that's even crazier. Did you guys read that?
Maybe is this based on a true story? Mission Mars?
Maybe it is.
Shit. Is Brian De Palma fucking Martian?
He's the one. He's the one they sent down. And this is how he's letting us know about this by making Mission to Mars, the movie. We just cracked it wide open, fellas.
It's been right in front of our face since 2000. It took us 15 years, guys.
I'm going to take a one step farther. I'm going to save the world, Martian.
Oh, fucking shitballs. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that, Ryan. I think Brian De Palma's the Martian.
Yeah.
De Palma's the Martian.
No.
And they sent him down in, whenever we'll say they probably sent him down when he started making movies. So like 1960 or so. And he started making movies, making a name for himself. It was all in preparation for Mission to Mars. Everything in his career. Carlito's
whole
Way,
thing's been a ruse.
Mission Impossible, Snake Eyes. It all led up to Mission to Mars, his magnum opus.
Shit, it's not. I mean, when you look at it that way, this is perhaps the most important work of cinema ever.
Yeah, it could be the most important work of anything ever.
That's true.
It's the dumbest
true.
work of anything ever.
Wow.
What was the one? I thought that this was the one with Val Kilmer. What was the one with Val Kilmer? Red Planet. Is that it? Is that
Sure.
Was that the one? There's so many of these. It is, yeah. Red Planet. It also came out in the year 2000. That was the one with Val Kilmer and Carrie-Anne Moss.
Everyone was all about Mars back in 2000.
Yeah, because I remember there were these two, and then there was Deep Impact. There was Armageddon. There was the one with Clint Eastwood, Space Cowboys.
Oh, Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboys. Yeah, I feel like around this time there was just a shitload of these
This is
sci-fi
Mars
movies.
And Brian De Palma got drowned out, even though he's a Martian. He's trying to get it out there, trying to get our attention.
Yeah, I feel like this one just kind of nobody even mentioned it.
I've never heard of this.
I have, but I don't think I've ever seen it. It got a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't think it did very well.
Brian De Palma was up for Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Director, but he lost to the guy that did Battlefield Earth.
Oh boy.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that Kaz Do Cinema had it. What did it say here? So it placed it at number 4 on their top 10 best films of 2000.
Wow.
So French language
but you-
critics were all over it.
Yeah, but you know, some of those people, some of those real like people that just love cinema, they're all over De Palma. They've always been all over De Palma.
Because he's a Martian.
I think there's a lot of De Palma apologists out there.
You got to get in good with De Palma if you want to make it to Mars.
In this movie, the budget, according to IMDb, was $90 million, that's a pretty damn big budget, and it only grossed $60.8 million.
Oh boy.
So it lost a pretty significant amount of money. And according to Ryan, it's not very good. So.
What about this? I want to hear more about this alien that's just chilling out in the folding chair inside this giant stone head.
My guess
Just waiting.
is that maybe he was like asleep. Maybe he put himself into some sort of stasis,
See, I like to think that he didn't.
and he was just hanging out in an
And
empty
he's
room.
he's just been sitting in that chair with his legs crossed, just waiting. And he has like a little, maybe like a little stack of like Martian magazines or something. That he's just
He had
been,
one issue of People magazine from 1993, and that was it.
he's been rifling through that sucker for the past, 80,000 years, just waiting.
So
Oh my!
Sinise went to the super galaxy. Did they show what it was like for him in the super galaxy? Was he no? Wow.
And I'm glad they didn't.
So they probably
Because
just.
nobody just mind fucked me more.
I would love to see Sinise in the super galaxy, and I wonder if he was like heralded as a king, and he went through the super galaxy, and they were throwing parades for him, and I imagine
Super
it.
Galaxy Sinise.
I imagine-
He probably ended up because you got to think he's not like full on Martian, so he probably went there and they treated him like absolute shit.
Could be a half breed, some kind of half breed. Yeah, maybe he went there and just died because there was no oxygen. Just immediately killed
It's
him.
either that or forced labor. It's one or the other.
It made him a slave, you know it. I like to imagine that it's like the Rick and Morty world where there's all these it's just this crazy reality where everything is just insane. Let's talk about De Palma. I don't know if we had you watch any other De Palma films on this show, but he did some really, really fantastic movies, and he did some really, really bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin, I
That's correct.
think you're kind of on the not so much liking De Palma side of things, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I've seen enough really. I'm kind of in the middle.
I've seen
There's stuff that's really good, and then there's stuff that's just eh.
I've seen a lot of his movies, a good number. So he did Passion. That was his newest one, and that was
No.
God. That was the one with Rachel McAdams. It was so bad. He did Redacted, which was another one that was absolutely unbelievably horrible. I didn't even finish that one. I turned it off because it was so bad. That was the one that was sort of, it was a mockumentary about, I think it was Afghanistan,
Okay.
where it was supposed to be talking about all the stuff, all the horrible things that U.S. Soldiers did over there and covered it up and all this. And it was awful. It was just an awful movie. He did Black Dahlia, which a lot of people hated on, but when I saw it in the theater, I didn't mind it.
I like that.
Yeah, I liked that one. He did Femme Fatale, which I don't think I saw that one. I don't even remember who's in that. Oh, that was the one with Antonio Banderas and Rebecca Romijn.
I think we had Ryan watch that.
I think we did, actually. Did we have you watch that? Because that sounds familiar.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Sounds familiar.
I think that was in honor of Passion.
It might have been, yeah. Yep, I think we did have you watch that one, actually. Okay, so we probably already talked about his movies on this show, but we'll go over them again. Mission to Mars, Snake Eyes, Mission Impossible, Carlito's Way. I was a big fan of Carlito's Way back then.
Back in the day.
Raising Cain, The Bonfire of the Vanities, Casualties of War, The Untouchables, Wise Guys, Body Double, Scarface, Blowout, which I absolutely love.
Good one.
That's
high quality.
You're telling me the douchebag that made this movie made Scarface also?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, he did. And Carlito's Way, and The Untouchables, and Carrie.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes me hate this even more.
Okay, so that answers my next question about your...
Because it's nowhere near as good as some of those.
Did you like Snake Eyes with Nick Cage?
No.
I remember liking that
Much
one.
about it, but I know I hated it.
I remember liking that one, but I have a strong feeling if I watched it today, I would no longer like it. He did the original Mission Impossible movie. Not the original, the 96 one. So the original with Tom Cruise. And I like that one a lot. That to this day, that's still probably like my number 2 favorite on that list of movies. So big fan of the first Mission Impossible, but Blowout, that might be my favorite De Palma.
That might be mine. It's either that or Sisters. Sisters is pretty good.
I never saw that one.
Oh, it's when you get to see his, you know how he's kind of known for his split screens.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see. I mean, he does probably the greatest split screen sequence I've ever seen.
And that's one of his earlier movies too. That came out in '73.
Yeah. Oh man, it's something to watch.
I'll have to check that out.
Plus, it's got that tomato soup blood going on.
Oh boy, tomato soup blood.
I did join this where they have the mini meters blowing up the ship or breaching the ship, and one of the mini meters hit Mr. Rebecca Man.
Who's Mr. Rebecca?
Yeah, who is this?
Who are you talking about here?
Here.
Who?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Jerry O'Connell.
Oh,
I got you. I see where I get your joke now.
I get it now. All right, let's go ahead and give you your drum roll on this bad boy. Ryan, what do you give Mission to Mars?
3.
That's a 3 out of 10. Now, what are you thinking as far as this Martian business?
It looks kind of interesting.
Now, it is directed by Ridley Scott.
Fucking stupid like this movie.
It is directed by Ridley Scott, who also did Prometheus, which you hated.
I was there for that. That hate was palpable.
Kevin witnessed the hate. But of course, Ridley Scott's done a lot of other great movies too, like the first Alien. So I don't know. What do you think, Kevin? Are you interested in The Martian?
Not entirely, no.
The thing about it for me is, yes, I am interested in it, but I feel like, again, just like in the year 2000, we're getting inundated with these space movies where
people are just lost in space.
Yeah, we got to cool it a little bit here. We got Gravity, we got Interstellar, we got The Martian. Let's just cool out for a little bit.
Stop getting lost in space. Stop going to space. First off, nothing out there. Give up. Fuck you doing? Figure out shit back here. Okay? Stop wasting all your goddamn time and money out in space.
Yeah.
And if you get lost out there, guess what? You're dying. Okay?
That's it.
We shouldn't spend any money fucking saving one fucking guy out in Mars or wherever the hell he is. Who gives a shit about that guy? Okay? We have how many other people on Earth? We can just move on to the next person. What is he, like the smartest guy ever?
He has the cure for cancer in his brain, so we have to rescue him.
Well, if that's the case, you shouldn't have sent him into space.
What if Stephen Hawking went to Mars?
I'd let Stephen Hawking float forever. Let the pressure destroy his brain. Okay? All the guy does is come up with theories, and then he says, "Oh, this theory's wrong. This is my new theory. This theory's wrong. This is my new theory." And like half of the time, he's to the point now where they're not really even based on anything. Like he said, that things go into a black hole, they come out somewhere else, and that was the extent of his theory, and it got written up in publications. And it's like, shit, I thought of that like 10 years ago.
And then he has fantasies about getting up and picking up a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does then.
I forgot all about that.
While he's reading his Playboys or his Penthouse, whatever he's into something.
He's into something, that guy.
As long as there's no Martians, because that's really what turned me off majorly at the end of this.
Well, I don't know, Ryan. The name of the movie is The Martian.
I hope it's the same guy.
As long as there's no fucking Martians in this Martian movie.
I'll wheel out. If I go see that in the theater,
I just hope it's the same guy.
If I see one Martian, I'm wheeling out.
Matt Damon gets there, and there's just that Martian again. He's got another issue of People magazine from like 2003. He's just sitting in that folding chair, and he's like, "Oh, finally another one."
I already sent the one guy to the super galaxy. Are you ready to go to the super galaxy?
And then that's it. Movie's over.
Damon's like, all right, yeah, I guess. I mean, I am an explorer. Let's do this.
Now he just has a sign there. It says, "Ride the Super Galaxy, $5."
And he starts to get annoyed because people start coming more frequently because, Damon goes and then the rescue team comes to find Damon. Back. And by this point, he's sick of it. He's had enough. And he's like, all right. And then that's when the sign comes out where it just says Super Galaxy with an arrow pointing to the Super Galaxy portal.
Do you think it's a portal? That's how they get there?
I'm gonna say it's a portal. On the poster for Mission to Mars, it looks like some sort of portal thing. The light coming up.
According to this, it's a rocket.
Oh, of course, it's a rocket. It's a rocket in a head.
Here's the is on, and it shoots to like a different galaxy.
So that's what the Martian's been doing all this time. It's just upkeep on that rocket.
Yeah.
Just in hopes that one day,
he dusts inside.
He just has a duster. He has a Swiffer. He spent the last 80,000 years just Swiffering.
Just going around the dustbuster.
If the Swiffers weren't invented, he had one. Because secretly he invented them.
Does he have a name?
I don't think so.
Tall Paul.
Tall Paul.
He's like Paul's older brother.
That's what it is.
All right, there you have it. Mission to Mars. Not a great one. The Martian. Not a whole lot of anticipation for this one. Again, like you said earlier this week, Kevin, on the regular show, the poster is annoying to me.
Yeah,
It's an annoying poster. I don't know why, but
and the marketing doesn't help because that's like the only image I've seen from this movie.
For some reason, sometimes I'll see a poster and it'll annoy me. And like when I'm walking down the street and I see Matt Damon's face every 5 feet, it's just annoying.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I like Matt Damon. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There you have it, folks. Mission to Mars. Any final thoughts on either one of these movies, Ryan?
I hate it. I hate everything. I hate space. No, I don't want. I'm a Martian racist.
Whoa.
I like Martian.
Wow. Significant amount of Martian hate coming from Ryan today.
So you hate Martians based solely upon Earthlings' perception of them. Like,
Yeah,
you don't even know what they are. But you
they're not.
Damn. We just think that they think that they're better than us. That's just how we write them all the time.
Yes.
Ooh.
That makes it true.
So that makes it true. Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Send us your questions and topics to podcastfilmpulse.net. Follow us on Twitter at FilmPulseNet, at FilmPulseKevin, and at MyLegsDon'tWork. And please take a minute to look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider subscribing and help keep us afloat with the show. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holtz, my name is Adam Patterson. We'll see you on Monday.
See you later.